Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. The tone for today's mindful moment comes from a quote that I've shared on my social media feeds today. It's by a lady called Maya Angelou, and it goes a little something like this. So Maya said that we must all do the best that we can until we know better, and then when we know better, we can do better. So that's a little bit of a mantra for me. It runs through my head an awful lot, and it allows me, I think, to live with myself. It allows me to forgive myself. It allows me to move on. It allows me to live a more accepting life, and hopefully a life with none or few regrets. And I think, it's a perspective that I would try to encourage everybody to adopt, because it is really all we can do in its basic form. All we can do is act the best that we can in any given moment. And if that turns out to be less than perfect, then we can learn from it and we can move on and we can do better when we know better. So in terms of where we're at the moment, I think that quote takes on a bit of extra resonance at the moment in terms of the shockwaves that are going through the world following the murder of George Floyd a couple of weeks ago. It's causing us all, as individuals and as a society, and as the human race, to look at ourselves and at our prejudices and at the way that we as a society move on from this, because something does have to change. We cannot carry on like this. We need to eradicate these inequalities and these atrocities. And I just wanted to discuss a little bit this evening how we can take a mindful approach to try to deal with those prejudices, because we all do have them. Now, I'm not accusing you all of being racist or prejudiced, but we are preconditioned with certain biases. We cannot help it. But by taking a mindful approach, hopefully with practice, we can learn to live differently, to approach situations from a different point of view, a different, more accepting mindset. We can educate ourselves, we can empower ourselves, educate our children, our peers and our elders to live a more accepting, more mindful existence. And I am certain that that will go a long way to improving equality. So the first thing I wanted to mention then is a thing called negativity bias, and that's a thing that we're all pre-programmed with. It is an evolutionary bias, so it's a survival instinct, and it means that we're all pre-programmed to approach new situations, different situations, from a place of negativity. So we see everything that can go wrong. In order to survive, we seek out the danger, we seek out the things that can hurt us. And what we must try to do is approach new situations from a non-judgmental mindset. A more mindful approach would be to just look at each situation for what it is and not what can go wrong. Deal with the situation as it arises. Negativity bias is to blame for many of the divides that we have between different social groups, and that's just not racial groups, that's socioeconomic groups, it's gender groups. It's to blame for us not reaching out to people that we might see as cleverer or more beautiful than we are, because we fear rejection, we fear the things that can go wrong, and we need to be more accepting, and a little bit braver, more accepting of ourselves. Don't presume that you will be rejected. Reach out to people, and when we are all more accepting, hopefully we'll be pleasantly surprised and these lines will blur, and we'll be richer for it. Another preconditioned bias that we have is a self-positivity bias. Now I can see you shaking your heads, but we are also preconditioned to believe, to a certain extent, some more than others I know, that we are better than others. We see ourselves in a more positive light. And again, that's a survival instinct. It comes from a place of help to help us move on. So for instance, it could be something like an appraisal that you've had with a boss, that it might have gone a little bit less than glowingly. You might have not got a very good report. And the way that we move on and deal with that is we lay the blame at their door. We say that the reason they are viewing us negatively is because X, Y, Z, and we are better than them, we are better than that situation, and that enables us to draw a line under it and move on. Another bias that we have is a cultural biases. So our society programs us to believe, to think a certain way. That's in the books that we read, the films that we watch, the TV that we watch, the things that we listen to, and also our elders and our peers. So again, education is vital when we're thinking about eradicating any prejudices, and also getting rid of blame to a certain extent, because we have to believe that society is good in the majority, and that people are doing their best. And what we must try to do is educate them, us as a whole, to do better. So that's where what we're talking about when we think about speaking out, but also educating our children and our elders and ourselves. When we don't know enough about a situation, that can lead us to act from a place of anxiety and fear. We don't know how to respond to people if we don't know enough about them or enough about a situation. Knowledge is power. We need to know that everybody is the same and how to approach differences, because there are differences. We have to look at things like disabilities. If we don't teach our children how to approach disabilities or what disabilities are, then they're going to struggle with it, and that can lead to anxiety within them and conflict between those different groups. So we must teach our children and ourselves about those different groups and about those different people, in order for us to approach it from an educated perspective. And then we will see that we are all the same, that there is really no need for all this judgment and all this panic and all this fear and too much negativity and too much positivity. We need to come from a more neutral place and a more educated place. So that, that's the mindful perspective at play, where we're not judging, we're not coming from a judgmental place, we're approaching each situation fresh, and we're just accepting it for what it is and as that situation arises. So we spoke last week about the loving kindness meditation, which involves letting go of negativity, letting go of hate, and wishing everybody well. And that, I think, can go a long way. We spoke about how it can strengthen social connections and increase empathy and feelings of well-being within ourselves. If we can roll that out worldwide, then that can have amazing connotations for society. So let's try a little bit of relaxation now, a little bit of loving kindness. So again, I just want to go back to Maya Angelou's words. Do the best that you can, and when you know better, then you can do better. So if you've acted in a way that you're not very proud of, don't beat yourself up about it. Learn from it. Move on. The same goes for your elders and your children. Teach them in a nice way. Empower them and enable them to do better, to be better. And then, hopefully, we will live in a kinder, less judgmental society. So just a short little relaxation then, with that in mind, after all that waffle. Hopefully it makes some sense to you. So settle yourselves in now. Take some nice deep breaths. I think we could all do with a little bit of a chill out. There's a lot of hate circling, a lot of negativity. So we're going to try and let that go now. And we're going to send out some healing vibes as well out into the world. So sit back. Close your eyes or keep them open, however you feel most comfortable. Take a nice big deep breath. Breathe all the way in. Feel that breath going right down into your tummy. And then release it. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Take a nice big deep breath in. And allow your mind to be still and restful. Breathe out and let go of any negativity that you're holding. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Allow any thoughts that are going through your mind to just pass through without judgment. Just notice them. But don't assign any negativity or any positivity. Allow yourself to be neutral, to be calm, to be peaceful. And as you continue to breathe, allow your mind and your body to be still and relax. Notice your heartbeat. Notice the rhythm of your heart beating. Feel your heart beating in your chest. Every beat is a beat of love, a beat of acceptance, a beat of kindness, a beat of forgiveness. As you breathe, tell yourself, I am calm, I am kind, I am loving, I am accepting, I am forgiving. Breathe in and breathe out. Continue to breathe slowly and deeply. Try to bring to mind now a new situation that you found yourself in recently. Take a nice deep breath. Take yourself back to that situation, that place, that time. Try to bring to mind any judgment that you brought with you to that situation. Breathe in and breathe out. Pay attention to the way that you're feeling right at this moment. And now take yourself back to that situation, to the start of that situation once more. And see yourself approaching it in a new light, with forgiveness, with acceptance for the way that you might have dealt with it in the past. See yourself moving forward with each step a step of love, of kindness, acceptance, of forgiveness. Breathe in and breathe slowly and steadily all the way out. And as you breathe in, think of a time when you judged somebody unnecessarily. Think of how that made you feel. And with the next breath in, forgive yourself. Breathe out and let those feelings go. Those feelings of negativity, of resentment, of regret. Telling yourself, I forgive myself. You've learned from those situations. You can move on. And with this next breath in, acknowledge a time when somebody was unkind to you, when they judged you, when you felt hurt, unseen, unheard, misunderstood. And as you breathe now, let go of any feelings of resentment, any feelings of negativity. Forgive. Move on. Accept that you've learned from that situation, that anybody else involved has learned from that situation, that they can move on with your forgiveness, that you can move on with acceptance, with knowledge that they can do better, that you can do better. With each ounce of knowledge that you gain from each situation, it allows you to grow and develop. Now with this next deep breath, see yourself walking down your local street. Hear the sounds, see the sights, smell the smells. What can you see? What can you hear? What can you smell? Walk down that road. Notice all the different sounds, the smells, the sights. Notice the differences. Notice the many different people, the different clothes, the different ways they walk, the different accents, different things they say. Notice the differences. Just let them pass through your eyes. Notice them without judgment. Just accept them for what they are. Each individual person living their life in a slightly different way to you. All unique, all special, all different. all beautiful, all loved, all loving. Notice all the differences without judgment. These differences build the tapestry of your life, the tapestry of the place that you live. They breathe life into your culture, into your stories, into your memories. Each individual person has a part to play, just as you have a part to play in their lives, in their culture, in their memories, in their tapestry. Keep walking, keep moving through your life, noticing the ways that you're different and accepting that. Moving on with loving kindness. Wish yourself well. Forgive yourself. Send those thoughts out to everybody you meet. With each breath, wishing them well, wishing them happiness, wishing them safety, wishing them security, wishing them peace, wishing them health. Continue to walk through your life. And now as you breathe, notice the vibes that are coming back to you. All of the people that you meet, sending you healing, health, happiness, love, kindness, safety, security, acceptance. Continue to live your life this way, moving forward, accepting yourself, accepting others, forgiving yourself, forgiving others, loving yourself and loving others, telling yourself, I am loving, I am kind, I am forgiving, I am accepting, I am loving, I am kind, I am forgiving, I am accepting. Spend a few more moments now, noticing how you're feeling at this point in time. Not judging, not assigning any judgment to the way that you're feeling. Just accept it. Just notice the way that you're feeling right now. Noticing your heartbeat. Noticing your breathing. And as you begin to bring your awareness back into the environment around you, Take some nice deep breaths, noticing the temperature in the room, noticing any sounds that you can hear. Noticing the light, allowing your eyes to adjust if you've had them closed. Keep reminding yourself you are loving, you are forgiving, you are kind.